Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Reefer Revolution.
I'm glad to be a Reefer Revolution.
You are a Reefer Revolutionary,
Yes.
an original Reefer Revolutionary. Tell us a little bit about the Brownie Mary Democratic Club.
Brownie Mary Democrats are one of 7 statewide Democratic organizations that are actually chartered by the California Democratic Party. We're part of the California Democratic Party, the party that controls the government of the 5th largest economy in the world. We get to have some insight to say that. And we work through the party to basically now implement Proposition 64 to make sure it's robustly and reasonably implemented. So access, and this is the most important thing, that people in the state of California will have local, safe, reliable, and affordable access to cannabis. And I underline the word affordable because you know what? Nobody has any problem finding cannabis anymore in California. It's all over the place. The problem people say is they can't afford all they need. And people who are using it, for example, for treating pain, they need to use a lot of cannabis to make up for the Vicodin, the Percocet, and the oxycodone they're not taking. But at the prices they have to pay, they can't afford all they need, and so they have to go back to Vicodin. Not a good thing.
Or to the traditional market.
Or to the illegal market, that's right.
Unregulated market.
And the thing is, that's not, there's nothing wrong, I'm not against the unregulated market. I want to see a legal market. One of the reasons Proposition 64 main arguments was we wanted it to be a legal market. We didn't want people to have to sneak around the back bars and all this kind of stuff and doing that. And so we want to be like any other product. But the problem is the way it is so structured now, it's unaffordable. And we've got to work to see to it that it can be affordable. And with a legal market, it can be affordable, extremely affordable, if it is treated like any other agricultural commodity. The problem is, at the present time, it's still treated like this special thing because there's still a lot of reefer madness out there. But once they start treating cannabis like tomatoes and Brussels sprouts and broccoli, the price is going to plummet, and no one will ever say, I can't afford all the cannabis I need to treat my ailments.
True story. True story. We believe in the tomato model for cannabis. We really do. Tell me, how do you guys organize to move things forward on a local level? How can people in LA, say, start doing better work like you guys are doing in San Francisco?
Well, the thing is, you want to have politicians in office who support access. And if the people sitting on your city council, your county boards, oppose reasonable and rational regulations for cannabis, then you got to get there and vote them out of office if they're not going to change their mind. So you have to get involved politically, and we're the Democratic Party, and that's who I work with. So if they're ever interested in getting Democrats elected to local office, get hold of me, and I will turn them on to local Democrats in their community who can work with them to get people elected to office who will support rational and reasonable regulations. That's what Democrats do. That's what I do. I live in Riverside County, and I work with local elected officials to see to it that elected officials are elected to office who support that. And one of the things we do is the Riverside County Democratic Party always sends out an endorsement of candidates, and one of the questions that the party always asks any prospective candidate wants their endorsement is their position on access to cannabis under reasonable regulations. And if they give them a bad answer, they don't get the endorsement.
Awesome. Let's talk a little bit how cannabis helps dementia. You're an RN. You've been in the medical field a long time. Have you seen anybody benefit from cannabis when they have dementia? Oh,
absolutely. I mean, one of the things, cannabis is not, first of all, it helps with dementia. If you're suffering from dementia, it can help you just feel better and less anxious. People with dementia are very anxious, and cannabis reduces anxiety. But one of the things is, dementia comes a lot from Alzheimer's, and cannabis has been shown, research study after research study, that people who use cannabis are less likely to develop Alzheimer's. And the reason is that one of the precursors to Alzheimer's is the formation of a protein plaque on the brain. It's almost always there before Alzheimer's develops. And the cannabinoids in cannabis actually inhibit the development of that protein plaque. So people who use cannabis are going to be preventing the development of Alzheimer's. And this is one of the things that people don't seem to understand about cannabis. We talk about cannabis for curing cancer and all these things. Cannabis is really a preventative. It's the use of cannabis that prevents cancer. It's the use of cannabis that prevents the development of dementia. It's the use of cannabis that can help mitigate pain. It's not going to stop pain because cannabis doesn't treat arthritis, but it can help mitigate the pain. And this is what we. But the point is that the use of cannabis is, you don't take cannabis to cure something, you take cannabis to prevent something, and that means you need to be using cannabis over a long period of time, 10, 15, 20 years. You got to use it.
Yeah.
That way you'll prevent the development of cancer, you'll prevent the development of Alzheimer's and dementia.
An ounce of prevention, right?
Yes, an ounce, and we got to bring the cost of that ounce way down so people can afford the ounce.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for chatting with us. I'm so happy that you're in Riverside. I thought you were in San Francisco for some reason.
No, I'm Riverside. Actually, I'm out of Palm Springs, but Riverside County. Yeah.
Far out. Well, I hope to get together.
Well, let
with
me
you
just
again.
let me tell people who want any information.
Please, yes.
They want to get information. They can reach me at info@browniemarydemocrats.org, or they can go to our website, which is www.browniemarydemocrats.org. Get involved politically if you're having political problems in your community and you've got jerks on the city council and even bigger jerks on the county boards. Contact me, and I will put you in touch with local Democrats who are working to elect reasonably sane and non-reefer mad people to local office.
Awesome. I'm going to reach out to you about a district attorney to run against Jackie Lacey.
Okay.
I really am.
That's what we do.
I'm dead serious about it. We need a new DA.
Yeah, we're always finding this is what we do, and that's what I was able to do. I mean, I really made Riverside County, which was a fairly conservative county.
Yes.
It turned them into this thing now where they advocate on behalf of access to marijuana. It's
amazing.
If you don't support it, you ain't going to get the party's endorsement anymore, and that means a lot. You know, because like we, one of the things we did this year is we distributed door hangers to, where I live in Riverside County, to every Democratic door, and on the thing is the listing of candidates who support, who the Democratic Party supports. So you want to get on that list. It gets on the doors of every Democrat, and it really influences us. You better support what the party supports, and the party supports access to marijuana.
Awesome. How does your Democratic club feel about Tulsi Gabbard?
Well, we certainly would. We will support any candidate that supports cannabis. And the fact of the matter is, the one unifying thing that seems to run across every single presidential contender for the Democratic nomination is they support marijuana legalization.
To some degree or another.
Yeah, there's some more than others, but they all, none of them are saying, oh no, we should be status quo, keep it illegal. None of them say that at all anymore. Even Joe Biden has now said, well, I was wrong on the way we did the drug war and all this kind of stuff.
Sorry, no, Joe Biden.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not a fan of Joe Biden. What I'm saying is,
you'd never get my vote.
This has become one of the things that it's sort of like Medicare for all and income equality and this kind of stuff, ending the war on drugs and the legalization and mainstream of marijuana is kind of a standard Democratic Party position for anybody to take nowadays.
That would be a nice Democratic Party.
Yeah, well,
I would like that.
Yeah, so that's what you're saying. I mean, it's milk toast in the Democratic national position. I mean, it's in there, but it's milk toast, unlike the Californians, which is very strong.
And why is it still on the Schedule 1 in California? We can take it off the Schedule 1 in California.
Is it still on the Schedule 1?
It is still on the Schedule 1. I just went in February.
If it is, I want to look into that, because if it is, I want to work to get it taken off. Because right now it's legal everywhere in California. Even if it's on Schedule 1, no one's paying any attention to it.
Doctors still pay attention to it.
Well, doctors.
People in nursing homes can't get it.
No, that's not because of California. That's because of federal. The problem is that in every hospital, every nursing home, they all get federal money because they have Medicare patients and they have Medicaid patients. And if they allow cannabis to use, they can lose all this federal money. That's why it's there. We need to get it off the Schedule Controlled Substances in Washington, and that's why one of the things that Ms. Gabbard's bill talked about, 15 something or other, would do. It would remove cannabis from the Schedule Controlled Substance. If that happens, essentially the federal government is out of marijuana prohibition.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Let's all hope.
It's the number one thing that needs to be done.
100%.